Hey, as an English learner, you've probably struggled with phrasal verbs, right? You probably said yes, because I know phrasal verbs can be tricky. Well, that's why today I want to teach you the 5 most common English phrasal verbs. I'm going to show you their meaning and how to use them in real life situations. I'm Teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. All right, so again, phrasal verbs can be tricky, but the first common phrasal verb is right here. Cut back. Cut back. Now, this just means to reduce. Now, for pronunciation practice after me, cut back. Excellent. Last time, cut back. Good job. Now, this phrasal verb just means to reduce, but let's look at some example sentences. The first one is, they are cutting back expenses. So once again, remember the phrasal verb means to reduce. So they are cutting back expenses actually means they are reducing their expenses. Makes sense, right? Now, the second example sentence is, my family cut back on the amount of electricity we used last year. Now, this is something, it's funny. I actually told a story earlier this morning to some friends of mine about how growing up, my parents used to say, hey, cut the lights off. When you leave a room, cut the lights off. We need to make sure we are using the energy properly in the house. They wanted to cut back on their electricity bill. So again, you see the phrasal verb in that situation. Now, the final example sentence for this phrasal verb is, I decided to cut back on a lot of things this year. Now, what I want to do right now is look at an actual situation, a situation that you can connect with. Now, I want you to think about the amount of junk food a person eats. We can describe the situation like this. Brian is trying to cut back on junk food because he started a new exercise routine. Makes sense, right? He's trying to reduce the amount of junk food he eats because he's on a new exercise routine. He's following a routine. Makes sense, right? All right, so number 1, cut back. Now, what about the second most common English phrasal verb? We have this one, get around. Get around. Now, this means to be heard by a lot of people. So again, for pronunciation practice after me, get around. Good. Last time after me. Get around. Excellent. Now again, get around just means to be heard by a lot of people. So here are the example sentences. News of his promotion got around very fast. Next, it didn't take long for news of his resignation to get around. And finally, the news of their engagement got around quickly. Again, very common situations where if you get a promotion, of course, people are excited for you and the news will spread. If you resign, sometimes people will start talking and the news will spread. Or if you get engaged, people will start talking and the news will get around. All right, so here we go. Let's go to the third most common English phrasal verb. Here we go. The third one is right here. Look into. Look into. Now, this means to try to discover facts about something. The teacher decided that she had to look into the details of the fight to find out what really happened. So again, we see natural situation. It happens. Little kids sometimes fight, and teachers have to figure out what really happened. We have to look into the situation. All right? Makes sense, yeah? All right, now the fourth most common English phrasal verb is right here. Here we go. Put off. Put off. Now, this means to delay doing something, especially when you don't want to do it. Now, this happens a lot. This is very similar, again, to procrastinate. You know the word procrastinate, right? Like, I don't want to do it. I need to do it, but I don't want to do it. So when you delay, say, I'll do it later, we say put off. That's the phrasal verb. So pronunciation after me, put off. Excellent. Front teeth, bottom lip for the F sound. Last time, put off. Good job. Now, how can we use this in some sentences? Here we go. First example sentence is right here. Are you putting off writing the essay because you can't concentrate right now? Next, they decided to put off their wedding or delay their wedding. And finally, don't put off the project. So you see, again, in each example, we're talking about delaying something or procrastinating a bit, right? So the husband is saying, I was planning on doing it when I got back. I decided to delay the payment of the bill until I returned home. You got it. You know what we're going to be using. So how can we describe the situation? Here we go, using put off. Her husband put off paying the bills because he thought he would have time to pay them after his trip. Makes sense. To delay. We understand the situation. Put off is a perfect phrasal verb for this situation and many others. Now, what about the fifth most common English phrasal verb? Here we go. The phrasal verb is right here. Give in. Give in. Now, this means to surrender, especially in a fight or argument. Now, for pronunciation, real quick after me, give in. Good. Now, that V sound, front teeth, bottom lip, and a little bit of vibration. After me, last time, give in. Excellent. Now, again, it means to surrender, like, okay, fine, whatever you want, I'm going to do it. I don't want to fight, whatever you want. I am giving in right now. So let's see some examples, and this is right here. Here we go. First, Ben's mother gave in and let him stay out late with his friends. Next, my parents would not give in, so I stayed home. And finally, the enemy finally gave in, so the war stopped. So again, we see these situations where, hey, whatever you want to do, I'm not going to fight anymore. These individuals gave in. Here's the sentence describing the situation. The mom finally gave in and allowed her child to have some ice cream. She finally said, go for it. Do it. You can have the ice cream. Makes sense, right? Excellent. Now, these 5 common English phrasal verbs will help you speak more fluently in English. But remember, I said to improve your fluency even more, you need to join the free English Fluency Week by clicking the link in the description. Look into it. Guaranteed you will enjoy it, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much again for joining me today. I hope you guys continue to study English hard. Remember to always give your best. And don't worry about making mistakes. You can do it. I'll see you next week, but remember to speak English.